What is he doing? He's playing with us though.
Yeah. I was happy to get the shoe on him, you know? Oh, the wind feels so lovely.
It's getting so nice out.
Yeah.
Come on, James. James, what do you think he's playing basketball? He's got his hands up. David, you have to eat better from the left side. Hi. Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't bring his jersey.
Yeah. How are you?
Good, good morning.
They're right there. It should be fine. Sebastian, it should be fine. It's a friendly. Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. James is in his Sport Localco jersey because he doesn't have a uniform yet. He just started.
Yeah.
Good
Hi.
morning. Good, how are you?
I missed 2 games, so I was like, I have to come to something. Meanwhile, she's like, I don't want to go. I'm like, if it was your game, you would be crying that I wasn't here.
And it begins, Tanya. Wait until they get a little sassier.
Oh, he's already getting sassy at
Yeah.
11 years old. It's
Oh, my oldest son is so sassy.
like, what happened?
I don't know.
My kid's only 7 and he's sassy, so I got a sassy 3-year-old, so I'm in trouble. Well, this is the first time that they're playing against you guys before. They were playing like
They're pretty good, but yes, they give me like that. I said they were all adorable until they start speaking.
you know.
Say it again?
They're playing each other just today.
Yes. Yeah, and Giovanni's over here against Intermex. He has no toenail. Lost his toenail. Oh my God, he was in so much pain this week. Yeah. So I think that's why he's goalie.
Oh,
To save his
hey,
toe.
To save his toe. It's gotta still hurt. Now that he has no leg.
Yeah.
Did he,
Hopefully no one
Banged
steps
on
it.
something?
He banged it on the floor when he was playing soccer, and then when he was playing basketball, that's okay, it lifted up.
Oh. But maybe he should wear shoes when he plays basketball, like sneakers.
And they were going from the pool to the basketball, pool to the basketball. That's
I
why.
did that
Learned his
last,
lesson, right?
He learned, yes.
last year coming home from
Oh
work.
God, Giovanni. It's okay. He's never played goalie before.
Right. Who cares? I did that right before quarantine last year because my husband was home. He was in lockdown before any of us were because the first case in the city was his building. So they ended up coming home early and he had the kids and everything. I come home, I wanted to work out, my exercise mat's downstairs. I went to go move their gaming chair. They have like a
Oh.
rocking one on the floor that they use.
Yeah.
Hey Nico. Good morning. And I went to go pull it and it got stuck on the mat and it just, but it hit right here. It didn't hit the top of my toenail. I saw stars. Like, I dropped to the floor and I almost started crying. And Pat's like, I don't usually, I handle pain. So he said to me, he was like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I'm like, my foot is killing me. The whole thing turned purple, but the nail didn't fall off. And I wanted to go to the podiatrist back then, but a week later, that week, like, everything started shutting down.
Sure.
So my husband's like, do you really need to go to there right now in the middle of all this? I was like, all right, forget it. So I waited till June. And he's like, do you still need to go? I'm like, yeah, I do, because it's just growing out. I want to make sure. So he's like, listen, it's not, thank God you came, because you could actually break and chip the bone, you know? So he's like, but the toenails, I was like, is my toenail going to fall off? He's like, no, you're okay. It just grew out from underneath, though.
Well, that I didn't want it to fall off. I was trying to keep it down. But it was already so dead.
Yeah.
And he came to me like, now what? It's in my hands.
Did he hit it? Because they told me, I don't know. I said to him, listen, I hit over here. I didn't actually hit the nail. I hit the toe. He's like, when you hit the nail, it usually just breaks and falls off. Like
he jammed it on the wood floor, kicking a soccer ball. So I don't know.
Hit the nail. I didn't hit the nail.
And it was bleeding. It had like blood underneath. Did you? It's so bad. Yeah.
I almost fell down steps. So I went to like catch myself, and it took a while to fall off. I went to the doctor, then they cut it off. It grew back, thank God.
Yeah,
my sister-in-law lost her toenail and it didn't grow back.
Yeah,
that's what I'm afraid.
That's what I was like, please. I was like,
at least we're outside.
I'm like, I like going for walks and I jog and I need my toenail.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, and I was like. And then at that point, it was already June. I mean, it was 3 months. My mom goes, Tanya, she's a nurse. So
yeah, but you saw it growing in, so that was good, right?
Yeah, but I was afraid. So my mom was like, listen, just hope it doesn't come full. But let me tell you, that hurt. And I had to.
You have sunscreen on your nose?
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Unless it was my sunscreen piece. Could be. Is it on still?
No, you rubbed it in there.
Okay. It wasn't spent sunscreen.
At first I thought it was your glasses, and then no, you know what it is?
It is my glasses.
It's your glasses. Oh my God, that's so freaky.
Oh wow, it does look like sunscreen.
But you just
reminded
reminded me that I need sunscreen. If anybody needs sunscreen.
So do I need sunscreen?
Do you need sunscreen?
No, I have it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are you gonna leave that?
I carry. So what's everyone doing this summer? Anything?
Going to Florida next week.
Where are you guys going?
Manalapan, Florida.
Oh, I've never been there.
Me either. It's near Del Rey.
Oh, love Del Rey.
Do you?
Love Del Rey. How far from Del Rey are you?
I think like maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
I love Del
We
Rey.
did it because we liked the hotel and it was right on the beach, so we did that. And then we rented a car so we can go and look at other beaches.
You'll love Del Rey. Have you been to Del Rey? Okay.
Mm-mm.
So there's a restaurant there. I think it used to be, I don't know if it still is, but back in the day it was the same owners as Ario's.
Oh, really?
Tremonti's it's called.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's still there, but there's a ton of restaurants, but don't quote me because I haven't been there in so many years. Look it up.
Okay.
Tremonti's used to be the same owner and they had the same exact menu too.
Oh, nice.
And it's on the strip. Now,
Nice.
Did you want sunscreen or you said you had anything?
I have.
Okay. But that strip has a ton of restaurants there. There's Mexican restaurants there.
Oh,
really
that's good to know. Because my kids always like to go out to eat.
Yeah. There's a really good like ice cream place called Killian's, something like that. K.
Well, they're allergic to dairy.
I wonder if they have
Dairy and gluten.
You need to take them to Austin, Texas, because everything was dairy free.
So in Sicily too.
And
everything was gluten free, dairy free.
Yeah.
I brought 2 suitcases for no reason of food.
The only problem is that if you're allergic to soy, because a lot of stuff is soy based.
No,
dairy.
My older son is sensitive to it, so he just manages how often he eats stuff. Because if he eats it 3 or 4 days or quantities,
it's quantity.
Yeah, then it over challenges his system.
Yeah.
I have a question. When you upload this, you make it.
No, you gotta hear my conversation.
It's funny. We better not say anything.
Because I do it from the phone, so I don't know how to mute it from the phone.
You can mute it, I think, when you upload it.
It doesn't give me that option. I wish it would. Is Chris techie?
Yes, Chris is very techie.
Ask Chris to be techie for me.
It's Chris techie. He's an IT guy. Of course he's techie.
No, but I meant like the YouTube is like.
He knows how to do all that.
Okay, so
I'll ask him.
Chris, if you're listening, we need you to be techie for us.
I didn't know that. I never told. I forgot to tell him. I watched the game. My parents like, we want to come to a game, but we don't want to wake up so early. I'm like, this is the summer.
Wait till the fall.
It'll
Yeah.
be better.
Wait till fall in Calvert when there's like an 11:30, 12 o'clock game. Because usually that's when Scalo Calcio's in the morning, so the games don't start till like 11.
Right. I'm like, you'll have your opportunity. Don't worry.
There'll be plenty for you to watch.
There'll be plenty of games.
Come in the cold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
cold in the
on
rain.
Randall's Island in the hail and the rain.
Oh my God. Tara lost her chair.
In the hail. Didn't
Yeah,
you play in
I lost
hail?
my chair. That's how bad the wind was. I got up 1 second and my chair went flying.
But she's in a bubble.
I'm in the pop-up
I
tent.
told Chris, I was like, I might have to get one of those.
She's in
Oh,
a
don't laugh. I rock it with pride.
No, she does.
You could find me anywhere. Just look for the tent. And there I am.
Yeah. She's in her bubble.
We might have to get a double one.
I used to have. It's very hard to fold.
Yeah, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, it's much more difficult. So I tossed it and just went with the single.
We just do blankets and hand warmers. I have the hand warmers.
Yeah, you have the hand warmers, right?
I
Those
have
are
them
neat.
Put them in their bags because sometimes when they're on the sidelines, I'm like, use the hand
Warm your
warmers.
hands up. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Do
So
that.
when they're on the sidelines, they use their hand warmers and just like
gotta
heat
buy a
up.
pack in Costco.
Yeah. Oh,
Buy
I
a
have
bulk pack.
It's that and the towel, the cooling towel that I
I have the cooling towel.
Yeah.
But Giovanni uses it. My older one, no. He'd
No?
rather just sit there and melt.
Oh no, not my kids. Especially Don. He doesn't handle the heat as well as Christian
Mhm.
does. He gets like overheated quickly. In first grade, when he was in Miss Lamberti's class, the nurse called me 3 weeks in a row. Like in January, now I'm having palpitations. And she's like, he's fine. He's just, they sent him in because his face was all red. I'm like, tell him to take his sweatshirt off. Is it the heat on in the? She goes, yeah, it's very hot in here. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's why. So then I finally, Lamberti saw me on the street, and she doesn't usually talk about the food
Sure.
and stuff, but she's like, I don't know what. I'm like, is he sitting by the heater? Because he told me he is. She goes, yeah. I was like, you have to move him to like an open window.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, no wonder. She goes, ever since I moved him, he was sitting in front of like the heat was right behind
Oh,
him, Don,
yeah.
and as soon as it comes up, he can't handle
Yeah.
it. He sleeps like in his underwear all year
Yeah.
round. So, and he gets a headache right away.
Aw.
So,
That's how my kids get. They get very overwhelmed.
So does he. So she moved his seat away from the heat. She goes, he's doing much better.
Yeah.
I was like, I told
Less
you.
trips to the
I was
nurse.
like, I told you. It wasn't even him. They were sending him to the nurse, and he was like, there's nothing wrong with me.
That's funny.
It's like, I'm just hot.
Yeah.
His ears and his face would be red, and then he'd have his head down because he doesn't feel like eating or drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's overheated.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Overheated.
Go.
That's why when I go to Italy, I don't go in August. I leave by the middle to the end of July when it really kicks in because we wouldn't be able to tolerate
My
it.
brother wanted to get married in September. That's why he kind of chose to get married in September
Yeah.
because it cools down.
Yes.
It didn't.
It didn't.
It didn't?
It did by the time we got to Tuscany.
But it
in
wasn't cool
Rome,
enough.
When we were in Rome a couple of days, it was still so.
My dad was
They
in
were
Rome
like
in
still
July.
having a heat wave,
Oh.
and it was hot
It's hot, yeah.
in Rome. It was hot, but then Tuscany was it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was
But
still
you're also
warm.
on-
But then at night,
But you're also by the ocean, so it's a little bit sometimes like you get a little bit of a cross breeze if you're closer to the coastline
Yeah.
than if you're inland. But it's still hot.
I mean, we had the mountains, so it, was,
Yeah.
it wasn't as hot as home. But the sun was just so.
We went to the Dominican in August.
Oh, really? That had to be
Years
hot.
I don't mind the heat because I can handle it. Pat was miserable. He's like, never again. We're doing Aruba and that's it.
Well, 'cause
Something
I was
with the
gonna
trade
say,
winds.
You gotta do Aruba because no matter what time of year you go, it's
Do you know
beautiful.
what it is? My parents loved the Dominican. They wanted us to go with them. And I was like, well, we can only go when the kids are off from school. But my parents go off season, usually.
Guys, you gotta kick it.
but
Not
that's
where
why
the
we
goal
do
is.
it.
I know, right? Oh, nice try, buddy. Oh,
So serious.
I know.
He just felt like over his head.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was running really fast.
Oh, boy. He banged his head, Natalie.
I don't know. sure it hurt. It's turf. It's not. He's fine. Yeah, he's fine. I said he's gonna be a great soccer player. They
Exactly.
Anyway, so it's great. He's perfect.
They always stay on the floor an extra 2 minutes.
He's perfect for this sport.
That's funny.
If he has the littlest scrape though, he's gonna be like, he's gonna make such a big deal.
Aw.
Well, he was running like an idiot.
I didn't even see.
He was running like really fast, and he's
Tripped.
yeah, he tripped.
The turf here is not that good either, right?
The turf is not. Oh, you could tell. Look, you see
Yeah.
the black. You're not supposed to see the black.
Yeah.
Well, my Calvert, they really need to repair it too.
Yeah.
Really, it didn't seem that bad to me.
It's carpet. There's no cushion anymore. It wore away.
They actually put turf in Diker Park on 14th
Did they?
and 86.
They did?
Yeah.
So we went there like a few months ago, like early morning. I was like, let's go. And
In the back.
Was it cushiony?
it's not. The kids loved it.
Oh,
They were like,
wow.
This is nice, Ma. I'm like, yeah, they fixed it here.
Wow. So maybe
Who's
they'll
coming over.
fix it
you're
over
right,
over
bud.
by the other park. Calvert.
Maybe. Oh, I wish. But, well, first we need our comfort
You're
station,
okay.
Tara. One thing at a time.
I know. Oh my gosh. When is it going to be done?
You know what? I get. Listen, I work in construction, so I understand. But like,
You're okay.
Horrible.
we don't work with them. We've been doing. We only do federal work now.
I don't have a
Oh,
band
that's better.
We don't do city because it takes like 6 months to get
Why are you
paid. It's
running like that?
horrific. At least with federal, they pay you within
Okay, but you don't have to run that. You
2
can't
to
run
3
Oh,
weeks
really?
or so. It's
Oh, that's
better.
decent.
But those projects, like, and that's the reason we don't do it, because everything gets stopped for every little thing.
Yeah, why?
They stopped. They said for this it's because of COVID, but it's like you're outdoors and you could have had just a couple of people working at the same time. You got
Yeah.
that clearance from last summer to have 2 people working outdoors at the same
Yeah,
time.
I don't get it.
And they could have worked through this whole fall too. It's not like there's anything that needs to be done based on weather. I mean, obviously if it's raining you can, but
Yeah, don't worry.
it's a very slow process. That's all I have to say. Is he okay? I might have ice packs.
He said it's bleeding. I told you. He didn't make a big deal that it's
Dom's the
bleeding.
same way.
Oh.
Dom literally puts his hands over anything and he goes, just tell me if it's bleeding. No, he's like, oh thank God.
I don't have a big band-aid. I keep forgetting to repack my first aid kit. I'm lucky I have a band-aid in here. I know. One band-aid. Okay, kid. David, you probably need a diaper.
I love his pajamas, so cute.
Oh yeah, I just grabbed David and came.
Third child, that's it.
You want to go sit in the
Well, that's what I told Christian, because he's like, I don't want to go today. I'm like, well, I'm going. So I have to see his game. I was like, do you know how many times your brother got up for you to be, come on, you know.
for you to go and play,
How
right?
many
It's
times did Giovanni
always-
get ripped out of
His whole life.
his whole life?
His
Thank
whole
you.
life.
And you're out in Long Island, and this
Yeah.
That's David. You know, he's gonna be
Oh,
trained
yeah.
everywhere.
We
was like,
we
suck
were
it up,
December 7th on Randall's Island when it's snowing and Giovanni was there and I said, this is like a CPS situation. Why am I here?
Yeah.
What's wrong with me, you know?
Yeah.
I had him covered with the plastic and the bundle me with the blanket. And I'm like, it's snowing. Why am I here with this infant?
Yeah, I know, right?
Memorial Day weekend,
Yes.
Sandra had the baby, and we're
Yes.
throwing her in the
Yes.
car seat, running around with her. It's raining.
Yeah, it's raining. Yeah. She was in the hotel with Mateo because Mateo didn't go because he had the later in the afternoon
Right,
games.
right, yes.
So she's like, let him stay with me.
Yeah.
And he was like, are they staying again? Because he didn't want to go.
Yeah, she's like,
it
I'm
was
not.
miserable
I'm
weekend.
nice
And I'm
dry
like,
in the hotel
yeah.
in
And I'm
Towers.
like, no,
That's
she has to come now because Johnny has a
Then
game.
she had to come. Yeah, then she had to come.
Yeah.
That's Columbus. That's usually
And then she
Columbus
takes a
weekend
picture
for us.
of Tanya and her and Gabriella, and you see the water, buckets of water, and I'm like, oh my God. Because we were in 2 separate fields. So we had mud, they didn't. Then they had mud, we didn't.
Yeah.
It was like we were taking turns.
I can't believe they played that.
Oh, they
weekend. I
play.
really can't.
They
That
play.
rain was
Wait, no.
unbelievable.
You know what was more upsetting? That
She
my
got to the
son.
field.